Hi guys, I'm Lingxi. These days when I was watching Arcane, I found many people were discussing a plot about three characters, Jace, Mel, and Victor. Some people questioned Jace. Some even doubted that the director designed this plot to smear Jace with purpose. But I realized a deeper message the director may convey through this plot. One chooses to combine with nature, while the other decides to integrate with the technology, foreshadowing the later mechanization of Victor. This perspective is what I gained from a course I studied, Asia Studies 355, History of Chinese Cinema. Today, regarding the films I watched in this course, I want to introduce you to my favorite and less favorite films. Now, here we go. Now back to the discussion of the plot in Arcane. As soon as I watched this plot, it reminded me of a film I studied in Asia 355, Spring in a Small Town directed by Fei Mu, which has a similar relationship between three characters. Spring in a Small Town was declared the greatest Chinese film ever made by many cinematic authorities. The storyline mainly focuses on the dilemma among three characters in a love triangle, Dai Liyan, Zhou Yuwen, and Zhang Zhichen. Li Yan and Yuwen struggle with their desperate marriage and Zhichen's unexpected visit. Yuwen has thought about escaping from this marriage and leaving her husband with Zhichen several times, but eventually she chooses to stay with her sick husband and sees Zhichen out. The storyline of this film sounds pretty simple and straightforward, and even a little cliche when I introduce it in this way. And also, this was what I felt about at first. What I saw was a love story between a classic combo, one woman and two men, and that's it. I even question why this is considered the greatest Chinese film by so many authorities. Are the old experts in this institution still fond of this kind of dramatic relationship, or just because of its unique historical background? This film's historical context is when China was torn between the end of the War of Resistance against Japan and the upcoming Civil War. So what? There are so many other films about love in some important historical backgrounds, so why is this that great? And this question was solved immediately when I came to the class. I ignored a deeper message behind the relationship in this film. We need to connect the love triangle with this film's historical background. Li Yan, a traditional and sick man with a broken family household, alluding to the sick conventional Chinese society. Zhichen, a high superiority doctor of Western medicine, alluding to the Western culture and technologies at that time. Yuwen, a woman struggling to make choices between two men, refers to that current Chinese society. In this way, the family love story becomes an allegory of the fraught socio-political realities of China at a crossroad between war and peace, victory and defeat, past and present, east and west, tradition and modernity. And this film becomes an excellent example of Chinese cinematic realism. This is definitely the charm of film art. There is much more than just the character relationship in a film to be explored and thought about, which also makes a film great. There are many things beyond the characters in good works of art, and what I learned through the analysis of Spring in a Small Town through Asia 355 helps me harvest the view that enables my exploration of them. Okay, now it's time to move to the next part, my least favorite film in this course. When it comes to this topic, I have to say, as soon as I think of the name of that film, I already feel a little bit uncomfortable. Introducing Summer Palace, directed by Lou Ye. Well, an important reason I'm not too fond of this film is about an embarrassing accident it brought me. There are numerous pornographic scenes in this film, which is totally fine because, I'm an adult already. But I didn't know it before watching it! Imagine, on a bright morning of Monday, I prepared my breakfast carefully and sat in front of my laptop. I drank my hot milk and found this film, thinking cheerfully, a nice day begins with a nice movie, and then I clicked play without wearing earphones. And I saw pornography scene. And my roommate suddenly unnaturally stopped watching her face.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again.
But of course, I won't judge a film simply based on an accident, so it really manually helps me. What makes me feel uncomfortable about it is something else. This is no doubt an excellent film. The promiscuous sex life of the female protagonist Yu Hong is a good allegory of the mess and chaos of political and social realities around the June 4th incident. I really appreciate this message in this film, but there's something else that makes me a little bit uncomfortable. The characterization of the female protagonist, Yu Hong. Yu Hong always brings me a passive feeling. She never tries to do something for herself, and she never tries to pursue anything beyond love and sex. Although she joins in several political parades during college life, I still feel she is pushed by something external, instead of her will and eagerness. There are many things except love and sex in a person's life, but I cannot capture Yu Hong's inner thoughts about anything beyond sex and love in her depiction in this film. It seems like only love and sex are meaningful in her life, making the characters seem unreal and plain. Another female character in this film, Li Ti, there are also love and sex in her life, but I can recognize her agency through her choice of studying abroad and her suicide. And I can feel the vitality of this character through this plot, but there's no such depiction in Yu Hong. Yu Hong seems to own sex freedom, but is she truly free? She's nothing more than a lifeless body obsessed with sex and the love of her ex-boyfriend through the director's characterization. Some people may argue that Yu Hong is depicted in this way to imply the lifeless and shameless political realities at the time. But this raises another question. Why did the director choose to use a woman as a carrier in his film? Why didn't he choose a man? I don't think the political metaphor will be harmed by replacing the carrier with a man. A man with promiscuous sex life and obsession with nothing more than love can also convey the same message, so why did the director choose to use a female to convey this? I don't want to judge anyone, but in a society that still remains a certain degree of misogynist atmosphere, I sincerely hope such a one-sided depiction of female characters will be fewer. It is totally fine to portray women who enjoy sex and desire love, but this should not be portrayed as the only things in a woman's life. There are many other things in a female's life that deserve attention and depiction. Okay, this video is almost over now. Thank you so much for watching this video till now. There's a conclusion of the points I made above. Hope my video means something to you and hope you enjoy watching it. I'm Ling Xie. See you next time.